Tell me your girl wears false lashes without telling me your girl wears false lashes.
This looks like this is how? What?
Eventually.
Mikayla Nogueira has found herself in even more drama after her new brand Point of View is receiving major backlash from customers because it's breaking their skin out in hives.
Have you heard the news about Mikayla Nogueira? Well, if you haven't, we're going to talk about it because it's deep.
Hands on the full Michaela POV collection because it sold out, but I was able to get my hands on the Whippet, and I have really dry skin, so I thought having the moisturizer was going to be a safe bet. If I liked it, I would buy everything else. This is my face after using it, and it's itching. It's itching. It feels like little ants are crawling on my skin. What do I do?
Here. No, this is skin prep. This is something different. This is something new. This is meant to prep your skin before makeup. Okay, guys, let's just be honest here. There's no difference between skincare and skin prep. Skincare products are skin prep. And anyone that's trying to tell you that they're different is lying to you, trying to sell you something that you probably do not need.
Mikayla Nogueira will not respond to this. Mikayla Nogueira's customers are having reactions to using her Point of View beauty. I have all the receipts.
Everything else.
Oh!
This is my face after using it.
You had a reaction.
And it's itching.
Itching?
It's itching. It feels like little ants are crawling on my skin.
Ugh.
What do I do?
Oh, 5 hours later? Whoa! If I was Mikayla Nogueira, now that she's a brand owner, a founder of a brand, this needs to be addressed. Needs to reach out to the customer, apologize, maybe give her something for free, something like that, because this is not acceptable, especially in this economy when people are spending their hard-earned money to buy something they probably don't even really need. So with that being said, it doesn't matter what I think about all this. What do you think about all this in the comments down below?
This Korean woman is calling out Mikayla Nogueira and her new brand Point of View and the launch today because she's liking comments leading fans to believe that this is a Korean brand. She also exposed the fact that Mikayla Nogueira is a Caucasian colonizer, honey!
What?
Made in Korea with a potent blend of Korean-inspired ingredients. So, Mikayla just launched her new skincare brand called Point of View. She's really highlighting the fact that it's made in Korea with a potent blend of Korean-inspired ingredients, worked alongside Korean chemists, packaged by Korean hands. And so now people are calling it Korean skincare. And as someone who is a K-beauty content creator, it got on my radar and I'm like, no, this is not considered Korean skincare. And you might say, Mikayla never called it Korean skincare. But when you have Mikayla, the brand founder, liking comments like this is so exciting, not only a skincare brand, but a Korean skincare brand, Elite, and even responding with fire emojis. All of the comments thinking that it's Korean skincare, liking, commenting. It conveys this message that, yes, this is a Korean skincare line, without explicitly saying it herself. In marketing, this is something called strategic ambiguity. It's allowing her followers to perpetuate this misleading narrative without explicitly saying it herself. By liking comments that imply that her skincare is Korean skincare and not correcting it, it's indirectly endorsing the idea that this is Korean skincare as a way to benefit from public perception without taking accountability. So what makes Korean skincare Korean skincare? It's more than just manufacturing or working alongside a Korean chemist. Korean skincare means it's Korean owned and founded. It uses traditional ingredients deeply tied to Korean skincare traditions, like ginseng, mugwort, rice extract. You might say, well, she said Korean inspired ingredients. She didn't say Korean ingredients. What does Korean inspired ingredients even mean? Like it's ginseng, but not really ginseng? I honestly just would love to know. Mikayla, as a beauty founder, should not be liking these comments that are calling it Korean skincare. It's a way to capitalize on Korean skincare's popularity and credibility without having to justify the claim. Korean beauty brands and founders have worked too hard to build global recognition and then have a white influencer mislead her followers to believe that this is Korean skincare.
Okay, so the next clip, you will see Mikayla talking about her husband Cody and talking about him going into rehab. I hate that so much. I know firsthand. I'll just say it like that and leave it at that, because this video is not about me, but I really hate that so much, and I hate that that it's putting a strain on their relationship. However, after you watch this video, I'm going to give you my commentary and my thoughts, just my opinions, just my thoughts, and all that good stuff. So let's watch.
My husband Cody is in rehab, and I am ready to talk about it. Cody's story is not mine to share, but he has given me his blessing to talk about it today. I want to start off by saying I am incredibly proud of Cody. It takes an immense amount of courage to give up your will and enter treatment, and I could not be more proud. As many of you have noticed, for the last several months, Cody really has not been around, and now you know why. A lot of you have put two and two together. Many of my longtime loyal followers, Cody being an addict is not news. He has shared his story openly on TikTok. Cody has struggled with addiction from a very young age, and I knew Cody was an addict when I met him. When I met him, he was living in sober living, and he had just gotten out of rehab. He moved from Nevada to Massachusetts to go to treatment here, and the only reason he stayed is because he met me. Understand, sobriety, recovery is not linear. Addiction is a disease, and it's very complex, and unless you yourself or someone very close to you has struggled with addiction, it's hard to understand. Relapsing is a part of the recovery process, not a failure. January 2024, my husband relapsed on drugs. In April 2024, my husband relapsed on alcohol. I am not new to addiction or addicts, but what I am new to is marrying one. And putting on a brave face the entire year of 2024 was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. There's a reason addiction is known as a family disease, because it doesn't just impact the individual, it impacts everyone around them. 2024, I faced some of the scariest nights of my life. I'm talking calling the police because I'm scared my husband's gonna die. To anyone who has had a spouse or a family member who struggles with addiction, you know what I mean when I say, I didn't know who that person was anymore. I felt like I had lost my husband. I figured I was gonna cry at some point in this. Addiction's really fucking hard, guys. Whether it's you facing it or the people around you. I'm sure many of you remember I had a little bit of a mental breakdown in December. I watched his addiction worsen, and it became so hard in our home. And I had to make the really difficult decision to remove Cody from our home. He ended up getting his own apartment, and I said, you need to figure it out. Because as much as I can try to get Cody to want to be sober, he has to want to be sober. The addict is the one who has to get sober. I no longer could enable it, and I couldn't be around it. Now remember this, isolation is the devil's playground. So Cody being alone in this apartment, hopeless, struggling bad with addiction, he's losing me, he's about to lose everything. He hit rock bottom. Remember when he got the apartment, I secretly took one of the keys because I was so scared that if he overdosed or hurt himself, I wouldn't have a way to get in. So I secretly took a key and I didn't tell him. Like, that's how hard this shit is. 2024, I am begging Cody to go to rehab or get help or anything, but you cannot make an addict want to get help. They have to want it themselves. And on March 2nd, 2025, I get the phone call from Cody. And he says, I'm done, and I'm going to rehab. I can't explain the feeling of sleepless nights every night, worried about my husband, to knowing that over the last month and a half, he's been in a safe place, getting treatment and getting help, and finding his path to sobriety. Like, shit's fucking crazy. Easy to judge addicts. There are so many stereotypes. They lie, cheat, steal, manipulate. Cody is the kindest, sweetest, most selfless, intelligent person I've ever met. And to watch someone struggle with addiction who, like, damn well doesn't deserve it is really difficult. The question is, what's next? Support however long Cody wants to and needs to be in rehab. Cody gets out, I am waiting for him with open arms. I love Cody with all my heart. He is my person. I will stand by him. He genuinely deserves so much compassion right now, and I hope you guys will support him and me as we navigate this. There is one more thing I want to mention. If you're a drama channel or my Reddit fan club, addiction is not tea. I understand you make money off of talking about me, my life, whatever the fuck. People die every day from addiction. And if you take the time to make up some stupid ass story or just sharing the news or whatever the fuck, there's a special place in hell for you. I just want you to know that. You are the scum of the earth. Period. Don't make someone's addiction journey harder than it already is. That's someone's life in your hands. Had to say that. I love you guys and thank you. And I definitely feel a weight off my shoulders now that I could share that with you. But we'll see what's next.
Okay, so here's the thing. While I hate the fact that, Cody's back in rehab, and I'm so sorry that they are going through this. First of all, and I noted this in the comments when I was watching Rich's video, right? There's no way, even if my husband gave me permission, that I would talk about him being in rehab on the internet. Period. If he wanted to address it with me and we go online together, that's one thing. But never would I ever talk about. First of all, I have been online for 5 years, on YouTube for 5 years. I have been in the content creation industry since 2005 when I started my podcast. I don't know if you guys have even seen a photo of anybody I've ever been with, including when I was married. You guys don't know who I'm with now. But that's just me. I'm just saying that's me. I'm little Oprah. That's what I do online isn't about my relationships. I do have a vlogging channel that I will vlog on from time to time, but I haven't even started it yet because I'm not, I got to get my notebook and jot some notes down and see what direction I want to take that. However, no, I would never do that. Second of all, the timing sucked because she just launched Point of View, and this is Michaela's brand. And then after the launch, you decide it's time to talk about Cody because someone in your comments said, I think, we haven't seen Cody, so maybe, I'm assuming he's back in rehab. First of all, who is that commenting, being nosy? And just because somebody said something, you felt the need to break it to TikTok without your husband present while he's in rehab and not there? Third, just my opinion, I feel like when someone is going through something like addiction, the last thing they need is to be alone. So even though you're stressed out about it and, it may be affecting you a certain way, it may be triggering you in a certain way, the last thing Cody needed was to be in an apartment by himself. And then you're so worried that you had a key made behind his back. Okay, let's talk about the fact that you've been drinking, popping the liquor, partying, and all of this stuff when you knew you were married to an alcoholic. I'm not saying that this is your fault, but what I'm saying, Michaela, is that you can't do that if you're married to an addict. You can't do that. If you're married to an addict, you cannot, be at the parties and holding up the liquor and, drinking the margaritas and all of that stuff. I never knew that Cody was an addict. I never knew that he was in recovery. I never knew any of this until right now. And then I'm looking back, at your career, and I'm like, why is she even holding a wine glass or a margarita glass? Why do you have liquor in the house? Like, girl, no ma'am. Absolutely not. No ma'am. And I'm just saying this. I'm a part of the beauty community, right? I have actually been a licensed cosmetologist and certified MUA since 1921. My daughter's 33 now. I'm 53. I'll be 54 July the 9th. So it's been a long time for me being a working girl in this industry. And at no point in time have I ever put my personal affairs out on Front Street, especially not on the internet. So for you, also number 4, for you to, feel some type of way about people talking about what you put out on the internet, that's a little weird. You need a thick skin for this industry. And if you don't want somebody talking about your personal affairs, then just don't put it out. Just leave that video on private. Don't even make the video. Maybe have a private channel where you just vent and, on a phone that's not even connected, to the internet or anything. Like, I don't know. But, that ain't it. I'm just saying. So, those are my facts and views and opinions and, all of the things on the matter. Do I feel like it was a publicity stunt? I certainly hope not, because, that would be in poor taste. And yes, I do understand a lot of people's point of view, no pun intended, about Mikayla's career and, her, background check with Lashgate and all of that kind of stuff. I get it. A lot of things that she's done, people don't see as completely honest in the beauty industry, in the beauty community, as it stands with TikTok especially, but she does have a YouTube channel, and I don't know how YouTube feels about it. Some of the people that I know personally, 50% of them don't even know who Mikayla is, and they do wear makeup, so I'm like, really? But but the other 50% are kind of like, everybody doesn't make smart moves. You know what I'm saying? Not 100% of the time. And I just feel like I probably wouldn't have said anything about my husband's sobriety or going to rehab, especially knowing that, I could have been a trigger for him. Obviously, he was a trigger for her because she was like, get out, get your own apartment. And now he's in rehab. But the fact that you had alcohol around this man and you knew he was a recovering alcoholic is diabolical. That's insane. But whatever. Anyway, let's make better choices. Let's do better things with our lives. And let's think before we do and think before we speak. Okay? This is your girl, 20 Yvette, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.